Hi guys, good evening. So, if you don't live under a rock, you know that James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Um, so na-unload ng Houston si James Harden na medyo pasaway na before gusto niya na umalis kasi ng Houston eh. So he was throwing a fit, nagtatantrums na siya and he forced his way out of Houston and the Brooklyn Nets were the takers. So today we're just gonna discuss on ano yung view namin doon and basically it's more about for me it's about professionalism and delivering on promises and accountability. So before we start, Bri, familiar ka ba dun sa James Harden na trade at paano ba nangyari yun? Yung, di ba, nag-tantrum siya, tas ang taba niya, dumarating siya sa games, tas di siya nagpe-perform, tas publicly binabash niya yung mga
Teammates niya,
yung mga
yung
teammates
team
niya,
organization.
yung organization itself, binabash niya. So, ano take mo doon, bro?
Sa akin, Brad, yun, syempre, yung familiarity-wise, oo naman, di ba? NBA tayo eh. Ito tayo dyan, basketball. So, sa akin, ang take ko doon, bashing the organization publicly, bashing your teammates publicly, akin, foul yun. Dahil, I'm not saying na the organization is perfect. Pero any dirty laundry that you have within yourself, within your family, within your organization for that matter, it should be kept in private eh. Yun yung sa akin dyan. Sige, you could still ask the organization to trade you and give them time, give them the ample time, give them the respect they deserve, and they're paying you well. Pero it's you trying to force it to happen to expedite the process by doing things na hindi mo na mababawi in such a way. It's like you're burning bridges eh. Definitely, there's a high probability that he would never play again with Houston Rockets. And the teammates that his teammates there definitely nasaktan din. So I don't think that's a good way to go. Sige, you could have these challenges. Pero, yun nga, like what I've said, there there was a better way of doing it. Diba? Hindi mo kailangan, one is yun nga, don't share yung dirty laundry mo, which in that case nga yun, siniraan mo na yung organization, siniraan mo yung teammates mo. You have to keep as much as possible, keep your privacy eh. Lalo, celebrity na nga sila. Siyempre, every word they say, kakalat kagad. Pero, yun nga, sa akin, keep your privacy. Then, yung dirty laundries nga, keep, yun, part of privacy pare. Yun yung take ko dyan, Chong. Ikaw.
Actually ako, exactly. Yun nga, he forced his way out. Pero for me, the biggest thing is, sinira niya yung brand niya eh. Tama yung sinabi mo, nag-burn siya ng bridges. What do I mean by brand? Yung marketability niya nasira. Hindi yun eh. It's not that eh. It's what you stand for. Kasi you're a professional athlete. Parang tayo sa trabaho. If you don't get promoted, you feel you deserve more money for the things you do. Tas ang way mo on handling this is magpapout ka, parang you're gonna throw fits like a child.
James Harden.
Most likely hindi mo makukuha yung gusto mo. But you could have leveraged something eh. Kunyari, sa pagtatrabaho, it's more of asking your manager for a meeting and demanding ito if it's a possibility dun sa calendar nyo, yun, or looking for another job. Pero you do it professionally. Hindi ito ginagawa ng parang bata na umiiyak ka. So sa akin yun eh. Yung accountability din also is putting the blame on everything else aside from yourself. Mahirap din. I'm not saying kasi obviously we don't know si James Harden. We're just looking at from a fan standpoint. We look at it from media. So, what we're trying to get here is not really bashing yung si James Harden, but yung act, kung ano yung ginawa niya,
Mhm. What we
kung ano
can
yung
learn eh.
method niya of getting what
Mhm.
he wanted. Yun
Mhm.
basically yung point nitong discussion is you don't act that way to get what you want. 'Di ba? There are certain ways on how to do it, how to handle yourself professional. Kasi isipin natin to, in all cases, in all environments, we represent ourselves, what we stand for. 'Di ba? And for me, if you're the man, na dapat sa kanya-kanya nating buhay, we're the man, kumbaga tayo, we rely on ourselves, is we put the responsibility on our shoulders. We put the blame on us. If we succeed, we're quick to praise. Pero at the same time, if we fail, we're quick to accept yung responsibility. That's what leaders do eh. That's what, kumbaga, proactive people do, go-getters do. You're quick to praise the efforts of everybody, and when somebody needs to blame something, you take the blame. Ganun talaga siya nag-work eh, yung the greatest leaders. That's how they operate. So, yun yung gusto ko lang ma-highlight natin, and let's discuss ng konti about it. So, yun. Do you wanna add anything else, Bri, dito?
Sa akin pare, like what you've said, this is not bashing James Harden. Ako, I like James Harden eh. Magaling talaga eh. In our generation ngayon, he's one of the best players. What we're just trying to share here is what lessons could we learn from dun sa nangyari. And para matutunan natin sa buhay natin, ma-apply natin. Ganun lang kasimple. So yun, professionalism, taking full responsibility ng buhay mo. And yun, as much as possible, giving things in your life private, and yun, yung mga lessons na yun, pare.
Ayun nga.
Question na rin ba,
So,
Chong?
yun lang guys. It's not about James Harden. It's about how do we handle yung mga ganun situations. Yung para feeling natin we wanna get out. But we should act accordingly. Pero kunyari, you wanna, like, job. Let's be concrete sa example. If you want a better job, then resign and look for another job. Pero it's not, hindi, ayoko na dito. Walang kwenta rito. Baba ng pasahod. You don't do it that way. You don't do it that way. Actually, ako guilty ako niyan yung mga first na trabaho ko. Medyo I burned bridges dun. Pero yun nga. It's a lesson you can learn through time na the workplace or anywhere else actually, there's no room for childish behavior. Pagka-adult ka na, you should act like an adult. Yun lang. You can be childish when it's fun. When it's fun, okay lang maging childish. Pero when it's about career, family, there's a certain level of maturity na dapat ina-apply mo sa everything na ginagawa mo. So yun, magsi-champion ng Brooklyn or hindi, LeBron magsi-champion eh. Sorry to say, kahit magkampi-kampi kayo, LeBron pa rin. Kakampi ni LeBron. Hanggat naglalaro pa si AD, nakakampi si LeBron, medyo alanganin pa mga tropa dyan. Magkampi-kampi na kayo. Sorry, pero hindi ako LeBron lover. Lakers lang. Pinoy tayo eh. Lakers eh. Okay, so yun na for me, bro.
That's it, guys. Thank you. Anong take nyo dito sa James Harden trade? Anong natutunan nyo? Or kahit personal opinion nyo, kahit hindi nga lesson eh. Share naman sa amin. That's it. So, social media accounts natin at @IamBeyondAlpha. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. Then, podcast directories. Beyond Alpha Podcast. Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher. YouTube channel, Beyond Alpha Podcast. Like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Website, www.imbeyondalpha.com. That's it, guys. Thank you, and see you next episode.
All right.